Welcome, Veritas family. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is Give and Take. I'm Sherry Davis, and I am here with Dr. Bunny Claxton. Dr. Claxton, thank you so much for being a part of our Give and Take today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. This should be fun. I'm excited
Yes,
about it.
we are excited as well. Dr. Claxton is one of our new instructors. As always, if you are hopping on live or in replay, tell us where you're watching from and how you might know Dr. Claxton. Obviously, she's new to us, but she has a prolific background, so there may be some of you who might have known her from her prior institutions. Anyway, Dr. Claxton, we usually start with with newcomers with our VBC origin story, which is how you came to be connected with Veritas. So we're going to dive right in and let you get started there, and we will jump into our next segments after that.
Okay. So I came to Veritas. Actually, there was a few connections there. Krista Smith, she is the one who initially introduced me to Veritas, but she did that through Lisa Joyner. And Lisa Joyner is, of course, over the doc program there. And her and I connected, and we were just instant friends. I mean, she's just an amazing human being. Absolutely love working with her. And we met many, many, many times. And she introduced me to Anne Marie Rill, the dean, of course, of the School of Education, and then also Dr. Lester, the president of Veritas. And he and I are actually currently writing a textbook together, a
That's right.
step
I
by
forgot
step
about that.
guide to
Yes.
conducting ministry research. So we're very excited about that. That should come out probably this fall. It will be ready this fall. So that's very exciting.
That
Um,
is exciting.
Yes, but Dr. Real and Dr. Joyner and I, we've met many, many, many times. And when Dr. Joyner and I get together, I think Dr. Real's like, okay, no more ideas, no more, no more, no more. Because every time we end up getting together, we were like, hey, we need to ask if we can do this. Hey, can we do this? We have this great idea. What do you think about this? And of course, everybody's always busy, but we have so much fun just getting together. And, we'll say, I just need a quick call, just 15 minutes, 2 hours later.
Yes,
We're
I'm
wrapping up
sure.
our conversations, but we really do have a lot of fun, and it's always very productive.
Have you
Um,
ever gone through the Working Genius study, the
yes.
personalities at work? Okay, so are you
She
guys
asked
both
me that
wonder?
too. Yes.
I think when two wonders get together, forget it. The folks
Yeah.
on the tenacity side are like drained. Oh, wait, they're just it's I'm sure it's overwhelming. Oh, it's funny. We got Michael Raker on. He's watching from West Alexandria, Ohio. Thanks, Michael, for popping in. Yeah, it's good.
Yes, so what I've been doing with both Dr. Joyner and Dr. Rill is we've been working on building a doc program. So the doc program is starting with applied research as an EDD, and we actually have students in the program. They are in their first course where they're writing chapter 1 of their dissertation. So it's a very, very exciting time for them to be at Veritas. A couple of the students were literally waiting on this program to get up and running before they started on their doctorate. And so now they're here, and we're very excited to have them
Exciting.
here. We're seeing the program grow,
So
which
tell us
again,
the difference between, I hear you say applied research. Tell us a little bit about why that's different from other institutions or what they can expect.
okay, so great question. Well, applied research is different than your traditional qualitative and quantitative in that it is practical research, meaning if you're conducting applied research, you get to solve a problem or improve a practice where you work. So this could be a school. In most cases, it is a school, but it can also be a business. You can solve a problem at a business. We've had some doctoral candidates who've been in nursing who have used applied research. We've had people at Amazon who have worked to try to solve the problem of onboarding training. They wanted to improve that so that it can be used in a variety of circumstances. But applied research seeks to solve a problem or improve a practice. So that's how it's different from your traditional qualitative and quantitative and even mixed methods dissertations. However, the way that this program was developed at Veritas is really, really cool. It was done to support the doctoral candidate. They really need to be supported all the way through their proposal. They've never written a proposal before. They need to work with their chair. So the way that this was designed was that the doctoral candidates will take a 15-week course with their chair where they write chapter 1. They're weekly assignments. They submit them each week. And at the end of that course, they have an approved chapter 1. Then they move to the next course, which is their literature review with their same chair, 15-week course. And in that course, they write their entire literature review. At the end of it, it is approved by their chair. So now they have chapter 1, chapter 2 complete from their chair, approved. Then they go into their next 15-week class, which is where they will write chapter 3 with their same chair. So at the end of this is what's really cool. Is at the end of this 15-week course, the doctoral candidates around week 12 to 13, they get their papers approved and then they get to defend their proposal. So they've worked all the way through their entire proposal with their chair. They defend their proposal with their chair. And then the program, it transitions from 15-week courses to 8-week courses. So the students are more independent at this point. We call this, they're transitioning from student to scholar during this time because they're working independently to do what they said they were going to do in their proposal. They're carrying out those research methods that were approved. So they are collecting their data, they're analyzing their data, and they're going to make recommendations to solve the problem or improve the practice that they've been working on. So at that point, the doctoral candidates can graduate every 8 weeks whenever they're finished.
That's cool. So when you have this program, the student portion of the program, overarching, real quick, how long is the program altogether? If you just start to finish, if you plowed through, how long would it take to finish a doctoral program?
So that's a great question. It's 48 credit hours. So doctoral candidates, you're going to be in it at least 2 years, but it really depends on how many courses you're taking per term. Because
Right.
initially the courses are going to be 8-week courses. Some people take 1, some take 2, and you might even have someone every once in a while who might want to take 3. So it does depend on, how aggressive you are able to complete those 48 hours.
So at least 2 years, most likely something like 3 years, I would think.
Yes,
Okay.
2 to
And
3
when,
years.
let's say you had a student who was, like, how would you handle, you may not have even experienced that with our doctoral program yet because it's so very new, but let's say a student gets some way into the program and says, oh boy, this isn't the direction I thought I was going to be going, or it's not like changing a major, but like what would be the equivalent on the doctoral program when you start to pivot? Like, this isn't where I wanted to be heading, or maybe the faculty is saying, I don't think you can get enough research on this, or whatever. Is there something like that provided in the program there?
So yeah, that's a great question. So the courses that they take prior to the dissertation courses really are they're trying to help them to come up with their research topic. So that will be brought up way before they get to write chapter 1. So they should already know by the time they get to writing that chapter 1, they've already had these conversations in at least 2 of the courses prior to that. So you're talking about at least 4 months of trying to figure out what your research topic will be, talking to people at the site to find out, is this a viable topic? So those conversations are already being had before they get there.
Got
The
it.
other thing is, let's just say, for example, that a student has gotten all the way through the program and they get to that point where they're writing chapter 1 of their dissertation, and let's just say they've been hesitant the whole time. They weren't sure. They have life going on. They're not sure if they can keep going for the next year in the program. The way that the program is being designed now is this is in the works to have a specialist degree, so that if they get through that first dissertation course and they just can't continue for whatever reason, then they would earn a specialist degree instead. So there's a lot of options here for the doctoral candidate. The other thing is, beyond the applied research, the next component to this that's in the plan is to include a quantitative dissertation. So there are plans to grow the program
So
in
tell
place.
me a little bit about that as well. So tell us a little bit about a quantitative dissertation.
So quantitative would be different in that it's not site specific, it's more theoretical. So there'd be more of a theory component involved in that. Both of the programs would use the step-by-step guide to either writing a dissertation for applied research or for quantitative research. So the support is still going to be there
Okay.
for the students. They'll still have their chair all the way through writing these weekly assignments in chapter 1, 2, and 3. So they'll be structured, and this was done this way from the beginning intentionally. We wanted the students to have a similar experience across the entire doc program because sometimes you have candidates who change. They decide, I'm not going to be able to get the numbers quantitatively that I need to do this. Like I can't get 100 and however many participants. So they might need to switch to either the mixed methods, or they may need to switch to a qualitative or even applied.
Right.
Way the program is being designed is very intentional, so that if a student did need to make that transition, it would not be like they had to totally start over from
Oh, so
scratch.
it wouldn't negatively impact them if they had to make the switch. Okay, got it.
Just minimally. They would have to read word, when we're talking about quantitative research, we're talking about the impact of something or the effect of something. Whereas if we're talking about applied, we're solving a problem or improving a practice. If it's qualitative, we're talking about the lived experiences of the participants. So there's a little bit of terminology that would need to change, but the topic of the research would not have to change, which is important. They would not have to rewrite their entire literature review, which to
Right.
many doctoral candidates is a big deal.
Sure. Yes, of course. We got Ann Rill on. She's watching here from Florence, Kentucky. Thanks so
Hi.
much for popping on. Yeah, that is all really interesting. And I want to give a charge to those. We talked a little bit about this prior, to those who are watching who may not be on the doctoral level, but you might be in associates or bachelor's or graduate level. Just know that when the time comes, if the time comes that you are looking for to advance your degree and you're looking into the doctoral program, our program has been designed, our whole program, not just our doctoral program, but our faculty love to mentor the students that come through their classes. And so there is this real palpable desire to connect with the students even after their time at Veritas has concluded. So we hear this regularly. We've talked about this before, but on our surveys and things, we are highly rated with our faculty for this reason, because the faculty will take a call day or night from a student who's just getting advice, connecting in their ministry, whatever happens after their educational journey with Veritas is finished does not mean that their relational journey with Veritas is finished. And so we strive for that. And I feel that in you, although you're very new to us, but I think that's why you assimilated so quickly, because it's like you found your people. We found like, yes, we are all on the same boat. So we appreciate your coming on and taking good care of our doctoral students.
Well,
Um,
I absolutely love it. For me, it's a calling. The Lord has called me to do this, and I am so, so thankful that I get to do it. And I wake up sometimes and I just think, I can't believe I get to do this. Matter of fact, I was just saying yesterday, I was like, I love working. I love working. I love working. I have to tear myself away from work to go on vacation. And when I'm at vacation, I'm thinking, I can't wait to get back and go to work.
I can resonate a little bit with that. And I, like I said, we had years ago, she's been at the college now for over 20 years as well. And we at certain times were roommates, and we would, it was like life just morphed with the job and with home life, and it would never really stopped. And we, we just love what we do even now, over time our jobs have changed for the better, and each stage has been so rewarding. So I totally and completely understand where you're coming from. We just genuinely enjoy our jobs. We enjoy working with the college and the students, and whatever that looks like over the course of 20 years. And again, it has changed, but it's all been for the best. So well, I appreciate your sharing that. So the next segment, we normally have our guests share tips or resources with the students. So if you've brought any of those to the table, we'd love to hear them.
Okay. So, of course, with resources, I'm going to talk about the textbooks because the textbooks were written specifically for the doctoral candidate to guide them through the dissertation process. When I earned my doctorate, I would read the scholars in the field, the main ones. I would read Cresswell and Yin and Moustakis, and I would read the books and I would understand it. I'm going to highlight in my textbooks and I'm going to take notes. That's just who I am. And I kept thinking, okay, this is great information. I'm learning a lot. But eventually I'm going to get a book that's going to show me exactly how to write my dissertation. But that never happened. I was given basically an outline. Here's an outline, and we want you to fill this in. Well, the outline might have been 8 or 10 pages, but now I'm looking at having to write 150-ish pages and filling in this outline. And so after I earned my doctorate, I thought, you know what? Doctoral candidates really need to be given guidance to be able to write a dissertation. As educators, we say that it is a best practice to give them the guidance that they need. Okay, here's the goal. We want you to see the target so that you can reach this goal and hit the target. And so these books were written as a resource for doctoral candidates for them. It comes with it, not only the template, but what goes in it and the checklist to make sure that they did exactly what we told them to do.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
great.
almost foolproof. So as far as resources go, you definitely want to have those textbooks if you're working on a dissertation. Now, as far as tips, I know a lot of the students in here are not in a doctoral program. And what I would recommend, and I think this is probably the best advice that I can give, is that get everything you possibly can out of your education. I know that there are websites out there that will give you all of the answers to the assignments.
Mm,
We all know that. However, if you're using those, you're cheating yourself out of the
sure.
education that you're paying for.
Yeah.
And so, you don't want to get on the other side of this degree and you've graduated and now you don't have the skill set that you paid for. So my advice is to really and truly get everything out of this that you can. Don't do the minimum every week. Do above and beyond. Go above and beyond. If the discussion post says to post 2, post 3 or 4 or 5. You don't want to go too off the charts. If it's a 7-page paper and they're saying 5 to 7 pages, don't give them 20 because that's not good either.
Yeah.
But you always want to stay within those guidelines. But really and truly, you will get out of this what you put into it. And when you graduate, you really want to have a solid skill set. The reason for that is you're going to graduate with a whole lot of other people, and there will be varying degrees of a skill set. You want to have the strongest, most effective, most useful skill set of anyone else out there trying to accomplish the same goals that you are.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice would be put all you can into it so that you get all that you can out of it.
Well, and I think on the doctoral level that is especially good advice because there are expectations, so much higher expectations than having just graduated from an undergraduate degree or graduate degree. If there is, there's this expectation, okay, well, they've got a doctoral degree, then you're automatically setting the bar very high. So I think that's really good advice. And it applies across the board, just like if you're in an associate's degree, even if that's where you end up stopping, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And what I love about Veritas is that while our courses can be very specific depending on your major, but anytime that you're enrolling in Bible courses or anytime that you have the integration, none of that goes to waste. That's all stewarded. And you get to use that knowledge in any of these courses, something that the Lord is working with you with in your family, your ministry. I think that's really great advice. I appreciate you bringing that to the table. Was that your last tip or did I cut you off? I'm sorry about that.
No, you didn't. No, that was it. That was it.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right, well, last segment is our s'mores. Again, s'mores are the top 4 of any given category. This week's game or s'mores is kitchen gadgets. Now, I don't know anything. Are you a kitchen person? Like, do you love to cook? Are you in the
Oh,
kitchen?
yes, I'm definitely a kitchen person. I'm in the kitchen
Okay.
all the time.
Okay, so I would not say a novice, but I'm certainly not like I'm like a no fuss kitchen person. No, not very many. I don't want to have very many steps to my recipes. I don't want to have very many ingredients to my recipes. I'm a no fuss kind of kitchen folk. So with that said, let's go ahead and have you go first. What is your number one kitchen gadget?
Okay, so when I was thinking about kitchen gadgets and what are my number ones, what I realized is that all of my kitchen gadgets are plugged in.
Oh, they're like appliances. Okay, good, because I had
All
one
of
of
them.
them. I had one of them too. And by the way, I'm going to be doing like a little bit of a show and tell because I have them here, but Dr. Claxton is not actually at her home. She's recording from someone somewhere else, so she won't have the opportunity to do um show and tell. But okay, what's your number one?
Okay, so I would have to say, well, my number one, it would be my Yeti coffee press.
Oh,
I
okay.
went above and beyond because I was tired of the ones I had breaking and
Yeah.
not keeping my coffee hot. Like I like my coffee hot. The Yeti coffee press keeps it hot. So that is my favorite. That's the
Did you
first
get
thing
that on Amazon?
I did get it on Amazon. I
Okay, all
sure
right.
did.
That is a really good and that is plugged. I guess it has to be plugged in because it keeps it hot. Okay.
Actually, that one's not plugged in. My water kettle that I use to heat my water that I pour into my Yeti is plugged in.
Okay. So that okay, I'm gonna do that sounds like your number two. I'm gonna do my number one first. So let me go back over because I already didn't get them in order here. Okay, one thing is my cookie scoop. Um, this I have the three different sizes, and it's mostly because I don't do a lot of cookies. In fact, very rarely is this used for cookies. I use it for I'll do like sausage balls or biscuits. Like I have like a drop cookie, a drop biscuit dough recipe, and I don't like to get my hands all yucky, so I just scoop that and drop it down. So that is my number one, and I have three different sizes. This is the middle size. Anne Marie, if you're still watching, I know that you I think you suggested these for me. So you have like a 3 tablespoon. I think this is 1 tablespoon. I think I have maybe like a half a tablespoon, a little mini guy that's super duper cute. Okay, all right. What's your number two?
Okay, so my second one is my juicer. I absolutely love my juicer. It's a NAMA, NAMA juicer. This morning I got up and I juiced 64 ounces of juice, and I will drink a little bit every hour throughout the day so that I am constantly having the nutrition from the juice.
What juice do you make? What's in the
This
concoction?
morning I had it was all organic, but it was green apples, lots of carrots. Some of the carrots were the orange carrots, but I also had the yellow and the red carrots. Celery, had ginger root, turmeric, garlic, blueberries, uh, oh, chards. There's a rainbow chard that I had in there this morning, and then just mixed greens and Italian parsley. So that's what all went in it this morning. But it that varies just per day of to whatever I have. So
Yeah.
I'll run up. We have a grocery store that's just I can almost walk to it.
Oh, nice.
Um, Actually, I could drive the golf cart to it if
Okay.
it were not freezing. But yeah, it's just whatever they have that's organic and fresh looking, I'll get that and I'll throw it in there in the mornings and then just drink it all throughout the day.
Okay. So juicer for you. And so then that tastes how the only thing I could think of in there, you had blueberries. So that's the only sweet, right? What
And
else?
the green apple, the green
And
apple.
green apple would be a
Yes.
sweet and sour. Yeah. Okay. So that tastes okay. Or at least you can sip on it all day and
Yes.
you're
Well,
good.
you just I just drink it. I don't
Get it.
sip on it.
Just do it.
I
I love
just
it.
drink it.
That's fun. All right, my number two is KitchenAid mixer with rubber scraper. So this is the,
Hmm.
KitchenAid mixer has the head, and I had inherited that from my grandmother when she passed, and it's the old school kind, but it had I had the regular blade without the scraper until very recent, like maybe 2 years ago at Christmas, I got this with the scraper. And it is super helpful because it'll actually take care of scraping the bowl down and it keeps it
Uh,
mixed in. So this is a really key piece. You can get these by themselves. You can just buy the accessory on its own. So that was a good gift. I got that one year. All right, what's your number three?
Okay, so I would say my third one, this one, I don't know that it's a gadget or not, but well, sort of mason jars. I
Okay.
have every single thing in my kitchen in mason jars. It doesn't matter what it is. I have mason jars everywhere.
We
And
Krista Smith
love.
popped on. She wanted to say hi.
Oh, hi, Krista.
Okay, so mason jars, you've got like
I
food.
have every size, shape you would not even believe. Yeah, I have mason jars everywhere. I put everything in mason jars.
So you're canning or what? Like you're actually preserving things in it?
Well, I do that. So I've made like, jellies and stuff like that in the past, but I put stuff in it like rice. I have a
Okay.
mason jar of rice. I have a mason jar of quinoa. I have a mason jar of chia seeds. Just you name it. And nuts. Yesterday, I spent time taking all the nuts out of the plastic bags and putting them in the mason jar. So I just pull out my mason jar of pecans or pistachios and
And is your pantry very organized? I have a feeling it's very organized. Like
it
if
is
you were to just
very
send us,
organized.
you should send us a picture. I'd love to see a picture of your organized pantry with all the mason jars because I have a feeling I know what it looks like.
Yeah,
And it's
and
not anything like my own pantry, I will say that.
and all the jars have a label on them.
Of course they do, Bunny. Of course they do. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, number three for me is a push measuring cup. Maybe you've seen these.
I have Pampered Chef.
Yeah, this one is Corning, but yes, they do have. I've seen the Pampered Chef ones. But anyway, if you have something really sticky, I use this for like if you're doing peanut butter cookies or you're doing something with sour cream or mayonnaise or something where you want to get the measurement, but it's going to be so hard to scrape out, and then you just
Hmm.
push it out and it falls into your bowl, and it is a really, really cool contraption. I really enjoyed that. So that would be my number three. And what is your number four?
So my last one would be you'll laugh when I tell you this. Alphabetized spice jars. I
I knew it.
actually
I wondered if you were going to do something like label maker or something.
I literally went on Etsy and I put in, I forget the lady's name, but she has stuff in everywhere. It's like Ray, it's an R and a D. I don't know why I
Okay.
can't think what her name is, but whatever her name is, she makes dishes that have sayings all over them.
Oh,
And
yes. They're just like the black and usually black and white.
yes,
Yes, I know what you're
yes.
talking about. Yep.
So I had some made. They're like a cream color, but you can pick out whichever ones you want. So
Okay.
they're customized. So I went on Etsy and I bought like I think I bought 24 spice jars, labeled them, picked out the ones I wanted, and I have them all laid out in my drawer alphabetically. So anytime I want ginger, I go to the middle of the,
Oh
of
my word, you guys.
the
Okay,
drawer.
Anne says, yes, all my spice jars are alphabetized. You guys are
Yes,
cracking me up.
I love it.
I love that so much. So you have them in a drawer? Is it just a regular
It's a
kitchen drawer?
regular drawer and you just pull it out and they're all laying flat and I just pick up the one. I can see all the labels. It's like the perfect drawer
All
for the
right.
spice jar.
Also, okay, after this live, upload a picture of your pantry and this drawer because I have a feeling you're going to get some folks telling, like, where did you get this? We're going to want to get involved, figure this out for ourselves. I won't be that person. I'll know I'll never keep up with this. I'm all the time just fumbling through, and it's half the time. I only use basically four main ones anyway. Okay, my last one is again, I think I inherited this from my grandmother as well. This is one of those cheese graters that comes in that huge, it's like a manual crank idea, and it has
Yeah.
several of these types of graters that you can do bigger or little, or it will do slices. And this would normally, I would say this would be normally too fussy for me. However, we do a block of cheese once a week and I can do it in like a minute and a half. I can do a whole thing in a minute and a half and then have it and it's there for the week for whatever recipes or whatever the kids are needing. And it is very fast. So it's much faster than the typical,
Yeah,
one that'll
yeah.
go, and it takes a lot of arm strength and that sort of thing. So I really have liked that. I get a lot of use out of that. So those are my um
What?
gadgets. Yep. And I had a couple of honorable mentions. Do you have any that you didn't add to the list, but that were kind of looming or maybe didn't make the cut, but close?
Well, what's funny, one of my favorite things to use, and I think I probably have 8 or 10 of them in my kitchen, is scissors. I use scissors for absolutely everything. It doesn't matter. I mean, I just am constantly using scissors, scissors,
Yeah.
scissors, scissors. That's
Do you
just my,
cut meat with it? Do you cut meat with
I
it?
do. Hmm.
So does my mom. Yeah, I don't, but and I only have one pair and it gets used for everything. The girls are using it for crafts and I'm like, where's my scissors? And it's all involved on the craft table and all of that. Um, my honorable mention is just a good old fashioned pizza cutter. I do a lot of like tortilla, like a low carb tortilla type. I can do a lot of fun stuff in a tortilla. And when those come out of my air fryer, by the way, I love an air fryer. One of my next s'mores categories is going to be kitchen appliances, and that's where I'm really going to dive hard into air fryer because I really love it. But I use a pizza cutter to cut those. And so that is one thing I probably couldn't live without. The other thing was something my mom had gotten me. It was a can drainer. So you open your can and you put this little contraption on the top and it has a lip so that you can pour out the water without
Oh,
having to put your hand on or using the can lid.
that's smart.
And it is a really cool contraption. And it's like a, $3 or $4 little rubber silicone thing on the top. And that's super helpful. So I did like that too. Okay, well, we did it. You did a great job. Thanks so much for joining us today. And I'll probably have you send me the link to those textbook resources so that I can post them in the comments for the students to check out. And we are so thrilled to have you as a part of our team. And thanks so much for joining us on Give and Take. We'll have to have you back again. And thank you guys for jumping in and watching. Again, if you're watching in replay, tell us where you're watching from and if we can answer any questions. Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you for having me. This was fun. Take care.
Thank you.